I think that the Israeli government is killing children in Gaza. We know that we have the info coming out from Gaza. And in fact, the Israeli government is also using artillery shelling now. So I think it's an indiscriminate attack on Gaza, and this is going to kill lots of children. And we have to pay for it with our money as taxpayers. To me and to others, this is unacceptable.
So, if you believe in this way, how do you feel? Because you say that I pay the tax, and I know that this money goes to buy weapons to kill children in Gaza. As an Israeli Jewish citizen of Israel, you said the same word to me 7 years ago. Now you're saying it again. How do you feel? How does this affect you personally?
It's frustrating. It has been frustrating. But I would say that we have an international campaign, a solidarity campaign for Palestinian rights. And since 2014, the BDS campaign has grown stronger. There is more support for the Palestinian cause among lots of young Jews, especially in the United States. And we're also seeing more support for the Palestinians, even in Congress right now, in the Democratic Party, which is fairly new. That wasn't really the case in 2014. Now we have in Congress people such as in Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and others who are speaking out against Israeli policies and against U.S. aid to Israel.
So do you think this policy will end anytime soon, especially when you consider the current Israeli political spectrum? I mean, with Netanyahu or without Netanyahu, the majority in Knesset after each election, it's getting worse and worse since I'm witnessing it. So do you expect that any change in favor of your thought in Israeli policies will take place anytime soon?
Anytime soon, probably not, but I do expect more and more Israelis to understand that the current Israeli policies are basically something like a dead-end street, that this cannot work. I think that in 2014, more Israelis had confidence that Netanyahu and, of course, pretty much the Israeli mainstream were able to sort of solve the problem. I think that now there is some deep understanding that there's a crisis here, that military policies are not going to work.
I see. So what are you suggesting then if the military policies, I mean, as an Israeli Jewish, what is your suggestion to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict?
My approach is based on universal principles of human rights. I support human rights organizations such as Amnesty International, and I think the solution should be based on equal rights to all people here, without any discrimination on the basis of religion, ethnicity, and so on. And of course, this also means equal rights for Jews, but right now the ones who are being denied equality are the Palestinians. So my entire approach is based on this simple principle of equality and human rights. How do you reach that? That's a more complicated issue, but I think we have to campaign. One thing which is very important is the BDS campaign, boycott, divestment, sanctions. Another aspect is the International Criminal Court in The Hague, the ICC, which is now investigating human rights violations in our area, in our region. And almost 200 Israelis, by now it's 250 Israelis, have recently sent a letter to the ICC asking the chief prosecutor to investigate senior Israeli officials who are probably guilty of war crimes. So these are some elements of the campaign.